Hello viewers and welcome to Voicetv Nigeria. I am Dorcas Olariwaju, and if you are just watching us for the very first time, please do well to subscribe, like and also share. Also follow us on all our social media handle. Today we'll be talking about one particular syndrome that is everywhere. And what is that syndrome? That syndrome is called Japa syndrome. I know a lot of us in Nigeria want to japa, as the case may be. Everybody wants to go to another country to go and enjoy life, to go and have an easy life there. But guess what? What are you doing to make your own country a place where others can come to? Those countries we are going to, do you actually know that they have also worked towards it to make it a better place? I want us to have one thing at the back of our mind. Whenever you leave your country to another country, you will always become the number 2 citizen. You can never be their priority. You will always be number 2. But guess what? In your own country, I mean, me like this, as I'm in Nigeria, I am a first-class citizen. So let's take a look at, I saw a particular video where a girl was talking about some of the terrible experience those people that want to japa used to face. Those some might go by air, some might go by road. But those going by road, do you know the terrible things they face? There's a video going around where a lady from Eritrea or so, she really explained some of the horrible things Nigerians and other Africans face when going through the road. They tell us, you go by road 4 days in the desert, and on the sea you spend 4 hours. My brother, my sister, is a big lie. If you listen to what this lady has said, it's so disheartening, like so horrible, the kind of things they face. Some of them end up dying. Some of them are even being kidnapped in their own country. Just imagine you traveling from your own country to another country for a greener pasture, and you end up being kidnapped, and you have to call your home back to send money for your ransom. This morning I was coming to my office and I had some people discussing. A man actually followed the japa trend. He sold all his property and he japa to another country. Guess what? He's calling now that he wants to come back to Nigeria. That I think Nigeria is still okay. Do you know what they face there? Do you know the kind of things they go through? Some of them will not say their story. They will also want you to come there to experience it. But for you not to experience that, let's take a look at this video and hear what this lady have to say. Then we'll come back and continue the conversation.
My brother had to pay $2,000 for my ransom. I got sold to 3 different men, and that's how I ended up being $2,000. You know, I was a bit more expensive because here's the thing, I've seen where it's not a black market, but it's just a market, and they would make Africans, you know, that they call us donkeys. They always called us donkeys, so they call them donkeys. And, you know, they'll make them stand and they're betting money on them. CNN or BBC, it got released, it got leaked. You know, it's like you're going to buy like a chicken or something in a market where you're picking and choosing which one do you want to have. Like, that's how bad it is. And for girls, ouch, something in my eye. And for the girls, you know, you're just a sex slave. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people saying like, for me to explain. So what I can say is so many other Eritreans that I met there, when they asked them, they all say it's the problem in Eritrea. I'm not gonna lie, I went to Eritrea in 2014. There's no water, okay? The water goes off. There's no electricity. The electric goes out. So it's a full blackout, okay? You can't get a normal job. There isn't a job, you get it? And a lot of the families that are in Eritrea now, the way they're surviving is because we Eritreans that are like for example, let's say my mom is in Eritrea, I send her money. That's how she will be able to live, you get it? So even the immigrants that are in Europe or in America, they're sending money back home to their family. There's no like universities and stuff. There's few colleges, but the government decides for you which line you're going to be working in. Because I have a cousin that studied to be a doctor and now she's a fucking nurse, okay? She never wanted to be one, but she is. So there's so much things that's happening in Eritrea. I can't speak for Ethiopia because I'm not from there. I haven't been from there. I haven't been there. I can't speak for Somali people because I'm not from there and I haven't been in Somalia, so I can't speak for their issues to why they're going that path. But for me, as Sarong Getacho, when I started that path, I was given a wrong information, like everything is safe, nothing happens. In the desert, it's just 4 days. In the water, it's 4 hours. Like in a week, like everything goes smooth, like nothing will happen. Everything started happening as soon as I left, you get it? And I remember calling my brother and I was crying. I was like, oh my God, they're torturing people. I don't know what to do. People are screaming. Like grown men are screaming for their mom, you know. A lot of people, this word, Yimma, got stuck in my head because that's what most people were screaming. Yimma, their mom. And my brother was like, no, Sarah, like focus. Like you need to make sure you get out alive. You're in danger now. And yeah, and I did, you know, I'm out. But I watch how they would put a nail on a stick and then they would make them like kneel down and then they would hit them with it on the white part of their feet. Yeah, it don't matter. Don't care about my grammars. Whatever it is, this they're like the white part, and then they will put a needle on the stick and then hit them with it so that they can't reproduce, or I don't know why. And they would even shave off their hair and then put kerosene and then make them kneel on the sun and sometimes even lay, you know. There's so many times where I was sitting and they would shoot all the way here. Thank God I made it out without any bullets or anything, or just with my life, you get it. I made it out, but they always shot at me. And there was this woman I never forget. She was pregnant, 5 months. They raped her and tortured her to the point she had a miscarriage. And then they took the baby and they buried him, and then they kept on torturing her. I don't know if she's dead, alive. I don't know what happened to her because we got separated because I got sold. I also remember there was a time we tried to run away. You know, I caught the girls. They were gonna run at night and I was like, fuck it, I'm out with you guys. You know, anything can happen, but let it happen because we were tired. And when they had me for 3 months and 2 weeks. So here in Sweden, I live in Sweden, I am diagnosed with Stockholm Syndrome. Because I really felt like they were like brothers to me, you know. Because I was like, oh my God, like, they're not doing anything. They're taking care of me. But then when I came here, they explained to me, like, I fucked up. I brought this to show you guys. This is all I take for me to function as a normal person. But when I take it, all my colleagues, friends tell me you're like a zombie, Saron. But I have no other choice, you get it. The memories and the mark and the scar that Libya left is not just on me. It's so many other Habish people. They are suffering in silence, you know, and they don't want to talk about these things because then people are like, oh, who told you to go there? Why did you go there? Like, everyone planned for this to happen. If you ask me, not even in a billion years have I ever thought I'll get kidnapped and sold, you know. And when they had me, I remember one time when we got kidnapped, it was at night, it was late night, and they came in and they were saying like, Miss Heen, you know, it's like Christians. And then I asked the girl that was with me, like, what are they saying, you know? She told me, she translated. They were like, all these Christians, he cut off their head, you know? And then they asked me if I wanted to be a Muslim. I was like, yeah, like, just don't cut off my head, you get it? I'm like, yeah. And then they changed my name from Saron to Sabrine. And that's when I got to, it felt like I was invisible and I was just witnessing what was happening to the people. I saw when they took a gun and put it to 4 Somali men and they shot them dead, you know. I saw the whole blood, everything explode, and they forced us to clean up the aftermath of what they did. And And they brought out the guys, so they can bury the body. They took them with them and they buried the bodies. There were so many other Eritreans also, which they tortured them to the point they died. And I remember one time, there was a time, when we tried to run away. The Libyans called our smuggler. His name was Abdusalam. He's Eritrean. And they called him and they told him, like, for the girls who tried to escape and we got caught, we were 26. They said send $26,000, And then he sent a taxi, to pick us up. And the taxi man, he had nothing to do with it, but they met him up to the point he died. And then they took away the money. And I remember I was brought out, I was being dragged, and I still remember how his body was laying flat, and then they put the blanket, and then there was so many flies, and his hand was hanging out, and then I was sitting on it was like a floor sand thing, and they would try to force me, and I just froze, That wasn't the first time I saw a body, but that was the first time where I saw someone who had nothing to do with any of this business getting killed. They would also shoot people and throw them into the sea. There is so many Eritreans where I don't want to say Eritrean, let me just say East Africa so everyone can understand. They would gang rape them. They would rape, I can't say rape, I think about to saying it, but assault them, gang, and then they would also use their pistols and their AK-47 to R-word guys and girls, and sometimes they would just shoot you or shoot you in the leg, whatever they feel like, and they would also sell you to others. And at night, they would come to choose girls who they want to rape. I just say that again, but yeah, who they want to do that. So they have been watching us during the day, so at night they would come and take us. I remember there was a time where they picked me. I only used to show my eye, and they chose me by my eye. Do you know how sick that is? They made us line up and they put flashlight, and then they chose me.
Welcome back. So I'm sure you have watched the video, you heard what the lady said. One thing that so much surprised me, just imagine we Africans selling ourselves. In the video, the lady said they are being priced as if we are going to the market to buy turkey and chicken. Christmas on its way, we will start pricing chicken. Just imagine pricing human beings. Like they call them donkeys. You price human being, you pay for them. Do you think it's okay? So I think we Nigerians and other African countries need to come back, both the leaders and the citizens. We need to come back and sit down and see how we can also develop our country. If you watch that video, some of these people, when they want to take the route of Libya to other country, they have to pay money to take the road. Just imagine, if you are in your country, will you pay money to take a particular road? Just imagine, I'm coming from maybe Maraba to Abuja here, to Metama. I have to pay money to take AYA. That's what is happening in Libya. It means you have to pay money to take the road. After paying money to take that route to European countries, you are being kidnapped, you are being trafficked. You still have to pay ransom for you to be released back to your country. So why not we sit down and gather all of these resources to do better things in our country? Why not we sit down? Why not the African leaders come together? Look at how this country have made their own place a better place. Sit down, map these strategies out. What can you do to make our country better? When I watched that video, I was so sad. The lady was even crying. For her to even cry while making that video, that is to show you that they have really went through a lot of torture. Some people don't survive it. Some people don't survive it. I'm sure she just had the grace to survive that particular incident. But please, I want our African country, especially the African Union, let the leaders come together. Let them come together. We are calling on our president, Tinubu. We should call other leaders in African countries. Let them sit together, check how we can make our country great, so that our people will stop what? Japa. Our people will stop saying we want to leave the country. I believe Nigeria is great. We have a lot of resources. We have a lot of things to make this country comfortable. We are naturally blessed. Not only Nigeria, other African countries are also naturally blessed. That is why we need leaders that will sit down and map out a very good strategy to make the country a better place for me and you. Please do well to like and subscribe. Also share our videos on all your pages and drop a comment to this video. Share your thoughts. Give us your opinion. Thank you for watching. I still remain Dorcas or Larry Waju till I come your way next time.